Okay, so this is the moment I was waiting for to test out my Gransfors Bruk Maul. And one thing where it's really made well is that they flare out the top of the handle. I always found out that when you flare them out up at the top like that, less chance of coming loose. So what we're going to do is try and split here. All right, we'll hit it with about 20 or 30 hits and we'll see how we go. Well, that was about 30 hits, and as you can see, done nothing. All as we did is make this channel bigger. I've never found a harder piece of wood than this piece of wood. Hardest wood I've ever tried to split in my life. Now, what we will do, there's a large crack here. We'll try and split it there. Maybe it will, maybe it won't. We'll give it a go. Okay, so what we're going to do now, there's the split. You see a little bit of a gap there? That's where we tried putting the splitting wedge and done nothing. So what we're going to do, try and split it there and see what happens. Wow. Just seems like it's getting stuck. I haven't heard now. All it's doing is just rutting that out. Now you're not going to split this piece of wood. No maul is going to split this. We've got a piece of pine and that'll split it easy, so we'll give that a go. Okay, so we've gone from one extreme to the other. Pinus radiata should split pretty easy. We'll give this a go. Doesn't get much easier than that. The other thing I notice with the Gransfors Bruks, what they've done to the handle is it's almost like an embossing roll has gone over it, which is good. You get a great grip on it. Okay, so now a bit of a conclusion. The metal wedge, that was the first one that we tried, On the grey box, done nothing. The steel splitting axe, total weight 3.9 kg, done nothing. The log splitter from, or block splitter from Cyclone Australia, 2.5 kg, total weight with a handle of about 3.8, done nothing. The oxen, not the oxen cough, the Gransfors Bruks, one in front of us. As I thought, it just rutted out the top of the log, done nothing. Then we went to the pine, and that pine's about 6 months, still not fully dry. It would split a bit easier if it had another 6 months to dry out. Now the interesting thing, didn't matter whether you had concave cheeks like the Gransfors Bruks, it's concaved, 25-degree wedge, and about a 45-degree on the secondary bevel with a slight convex on that cutting edge. The other thing to bear in mind, the reason I wanted to do this experiment on the eucalypt was to prove one thing, that it didn't matter what sort of maul that you got, you weren't going to bust that piece of 20-year-old wood open. It just goes to show you, not many people would probably get access to a dead tree that was 20 years old, if not more. It's 20 years old that I know of, and it was dead when I got this property. So it could be 30, 40 years old, but it is ancient. You can even tell, if you actually look here, you can see where it's all rotted away, right? So that's taken many, many years, but it's still that tough. So it's interesting why it is so tough to bust open. It's because that entanglement of the fibres. They're not parallel, they're twisted, and they're entangled. So you've got a twist in motion and an entanglement at the same time. Some fibres are just twisted, some got slight entanglement. But eucalypts are really entangled, some species more so than the others. Certainly the grey box would be right up there. So there's not much that you can do to bust this open except use a hydraulic splitter. Now in softwood, it's a totally different story, and unfortunately I don't have much softwood except a few bits of pine laying around that I come across every now and again, and they're pretty easy to split open. In that situation, in your softer wood that is easy to split open, the design of the splitting axe or the splitting maul can make a difference. But if you have a look at the Aussie block splitter, it's only a 30-degree wedge, and it's pretty simple, and doesn't get much more simple than a 30-degree wedge shape like that. Not convexed, no hollow cheeks. It's as simple as what you can get, but it works quite well. Probably the two things that are most important in splitting wood is the length of the handle. This is 800mm. Normally a splitting maul's 900, but they've got an 800mm. I like the 800mm length. And the weight of the head, right? So the total combination of this is 3.7 kg, I think it is. I'll just have a look on the handle. 3.6. So you've got a total weight there of 3.6 kilograms. Not a bad size. You can swing that for quite a number of hours before you get tired. Look, I hope this information helps. Splitting softwood, I don't believe putting a video up there on YouTube on splitting softwood is beneficial, because anyone can split softwood. Medium to hardwood is a different story, and as you've seen in hardwood, I couldn't even split that. So yeah, thanks for watching. Bye for now.